Brian Howell here at the Pro Video Coalition with Carrie Cooke.
How'd you do, Brian?
Nice meeting you.
And
We're
yourself?
going to talk brand new library, Shot on Cooke.
Yeah, Shot on Cooke is a motion gallery, I like to call it. And it's designed, or it's navigatable so that you can navigate via one of our lens series or a genre or a combination of both, so that you can find footage, not test footage per se, it's not really a test site, but real life works used on that particular lens series.
Why is it important to be able for a DP to go in and search the library? Like, this is what a 32 looks like.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's sort of, I use it as an educational site as well. I get a lot of inquiries from students or young DPs or even older DPs looking to change lenses and ask questions, or was this shot on that and was that shot on so and so. And one of the other questions we're always asked at Cooke is, what is the Cooke look? Mm-hmm. So the Cooke look can be described, but when it's being described, you're not viewing it. And at the end of the day, one of our big things is it's all about, do you like the picture or not? Do you like the image? Now, you can describe that, but a DP may have another lighting concept in his mind for a particular project. Is it a period 18th century drama? Is it a sci-fi? Is it a 1970s drama? Is it today? Is it practical lighting? Are we doing big studio? So once you sort of define it, it just explodes.
Yeah.
So it's definable, but you have to show it in all its forms.
And art is a collaborative process too, but you also, when you're creating some form of art or video, you want to look at what someone else has done with that lens, because you don't want to discover it on set.
No, you don't. And so, therefore, I was thinking about it, how can we get that across? We've got so much great material out there, but how do you make it into a referenceable site that people can navigate? Not just put randomly up like on YouTube, because that's what YouTube is. It's a random site, which is great. It's fantastic.
Yeah, but it's random, and if you want to find something specific, you don't know the name.
You can't search. You have to have a library reference.
Yeah.
And many years ago, I produced a book at a company that I used to own that referenced camera filters for. And it broke them down into their different types and how they'd work, and with reference photographs. So I wanted to take that sort of basic concept but put it into a gallery. It's no good putting it into a stills gallery, because we don't do stills, it's all motion.
Yeah, and then you can see maybe as a lens goes across the light or the sun.
And well, that's another thing. Movement adds in different characteristics for the lens. So anyway, we sat down, threw all these ideas out and tried to work them out, and sort of basic, pen and paper, draw it all out. What do we all need? And that's what we've come up with, which is Shot on Cooke. So it's a navigatable website that you can have two main navigation options that work independently or work collaboratively. So if you look for lens series, you can look up all of our current lens series, and we added in rehoused Panchro classics as well. And there may be other ones we add in the future, because we're building the site as we go along. And then you can go by genre. So, for example, feature film, short film, television program, commercial, what promo. Well, one of the things that brought up very early on is there's genres within genres. So, for example, now on the site, if you go into commercials, because that's a genre where we can populate very quickly, because there's lots of commercials out there. You go into commercials, and that will come subcategories. So, car, financial, beauty, hair. Because or food, so if you've got a job coming up and you need to reference strawberries, in the end, we're not going to have to say strawberries, but you would look through food. If you want to look at beauty, you can look through beauty, because there's beauty manufacturers and beauty products, and they're going to be lit in a certain way. It works sort of in tandem with, say, the Cooke Optics TV site. We've been doing some interviews here at Cine and in Los Angeles area over the last week. And some of the insight we've got from the DPs has been exactly the information that's not shot on Cooke now, because it's not their film, but it's what is going to be, or is what on somebody else's post on Shot on Cooke. It's that information, and that's personal. Not everybody likes the same way. Not everybody chooses a 21mm for the same reason, or a 32mm, and it's informing the community. So that's what we do with it. So you can go through the genres, like I'm saying, or you can go through the lens series, or then you can go, well, I want to look at a commercial car shot anamorphic, and only commercials in car anamorphic will pop up.
Yeah. So how much content do you have on there now?
Well, there's a couple of things we came up with when we're doing the site. Obviously, a commercial is 30, 60 seconds. That's it. It's over with, and it's cut. You can't go into it. A pop promo to pop promo, 3.5 minutes. Or maybe a bit longer, whatever. They change now, singles, length of a piece of music. Short films, well, they're short, so you can get them up there. But the problem I was thinking about when I looked at it is, if you look at a trailer for a feature film, it doesn't really give you any indication of the lens series use in the lighting situation and the movement of the camera and why. Because it's quick cut. You may have an edit from that sequence here, and then you may have it at this part of the trailer later on.
How do you bring that together as someone sees
Well, that's sort of part of the difficult bit. So what we've asked for in television drama and for feature films is we're asking the DPs to supply us with sequences. So you've got to have a director and producer that are on site, because they've got to allow you to have that footage as well. So we're asking people, and some people can get it and some people can't. So that's semi-restrictive.
Yeah.
But
something's ending up there, so if you're wondering what the anamorphic 35 to 140 looks like at 140, you can find it.
We're not putting down T-stops. The other back end to the footage that's up there, there's a whole data submission form that has to be filled out. So we hyperlink to the rental house. We put down film or digital, and the lens and the camera. We're not going to say each stop what the T-stop is. It's not a test site where this is at T14 and this is at T2 and 2.8 of the same shot.
But it's meant to be informative, so if you're going to go to rental house, or you're going to go pitch your director.
You're absorbing, because as you look at S4s through a genre, you will absorb so much information. And you can use that with the director and producers to say, well, this is what I'm looking for. This is this lens series. This is what it's like in this genre, and this is what it's like with this lighting, as you can see. And people absorb it. And some of the DPs I spoke to when I was building the site and asking them what they want, they were like, oh, great, Kerry, that's such a brilliant idea. I've started putting sequences on my website because directors and producers have said to me, that's what I want to see. A trailer's no good to me. So I'm so glad you're giving us another platform to enable to do it, because that's the feedback I'm getting. So it's by submission. We're looking for the footage. We're looking also for contributions from people, so that we can go through them. Not everything will get up. There has to be a backstory. There's got to be something about it, and the DP has to put in a testimony. And some DPs put in a little, some put in a massive. But they've got to commit, so they've got to put in all of the other data.
How do they submit?
They can submit by emailing us at Cooke. We have a Shot on Cooke email address, shotoncook at cookeoptics.com. Just send us a link and we'll review it and we'll go through it. And if we think there's a backstory, we'll get in contact. And then it's a process. If they've got a 6-week shoot on and they can't submit it, they can't submit it. That's the way life is. But it's a slow process.
And it's going to keep growing until
it's just expandable, and we're just going to keep on growing it. It's going to keep coming. We've got some really interesting stuff up there. Like, I got a lovely fashion house commercial. I think it's about 2.5 minutes, shot on Steadicam on a 3-story London house location.
I saw that one. That's a
goes up and
one.
down.
It's a 21 millimeter.
21 millimeter, and the DP explains why they chose the 21 millimeter. I've got a lovely one. The DP was here. He's a Greek DP. He shot a 1:1 aspect ratio, 90-degree turn the anamorphic lens 90 degrees. To get a 1:1, and it's all with a locked-in. The film's about somebody with a locked-in syndrome who has this sort of not curved in a curvature, but restricted view aspect ratio through the syndrome they have, and he's replicated it in a 1:1 in anamorphic at 90 degrees. I saw that. I've got to have this, and it's great. He wrote a whole piece because there must be a reason behind it.
What's really brilliant is it's like there's so much content, we can't watch all of it. But if you want to see what something looks like, you can search the lens, search the.
We're not, exactly. You don't have to do everything, and it takes us time to get. Obviously, it's going to take us a lot of time to populate it. So it's great you're taking the time to come and interview us, so we can talk to you about it, so people can hear about it, either use it or else send us something in that we can review it and build the site, because it's an educational-based site.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.